Hey guys! So, today I am going to go over the Fifth Wave series. I very much enjoyed it after this book. Take that one out of the equation, great series. And I'm going to go over why. So, the series was written by Rick Yancey. My first time reading anything of his. I don't know whether or not he has other books to his name or not. Quick overview of the entire series is follow Cassie Sullivan and a few other characters and how they react to alien invasion and the loss of 7 billion souls, basically. The first book, in my opinion, was a very slow read. After that, it really picked up. And even though I knew what was going to happen in the end, I was actually pleasantly surprised on how it was written. It kept me on my toes, even though I already knew what was going to happen. So I very much enjoyed that. The Fifth Wave, I gave it 2 to 3 stars. The main issue I had with this book, I felt like it focused too much on the teenage hormones and emotions. When I say emotions, I think it was too much of the fawning emotions. The sadness of losing everything is understandable, but when it comes to like oh my god, he was the hottest boy in school, it was kind of annoying.
Did you really just do that? Ooh, I'll never unsee that.
I think it should have focused more on the survival aspects. So that was my main complaint. All in all, it kept me enticed after about 3/4 of the way through it. The second book is The Infinite Sea. I gave it a solid 5 stars. The plot line picked up so much compared to the first book. It was nonstop action. You had everything laid out. So in all, actually, just thinking about it, the first book kind of laid out a pretty good groundwork, so it didn't have to do all that later on. It didn't have as much of the high school drama, although there were points where it could have had, and they could have went way overboard with it. But they didn't, so I enjoyed it. The action scenes were very well done. I can't go into detail because I don't want to give spoilers. The last book is also the last star. First and foremost, I think the book did a very good job at tying everything together. It had a couple parts where it was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. It's not going to happen. No.
Wait, did you really get close to
There were a couple parts where it was like, oh, this is kind of rough.
Let it be known that hardly happens. Ever. So I'm actually impressed that the last book managed to almost get tears out of him.
I liked how the people who were complete and total douches throughout the entire series finally got what they deserved. And some of the relationships got some closure. Yeah, that'll work. This is the one where I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen. I didn't know the events that were going to lead up to it. So I very much enjoyed that. So I'm going to go over a couple of the characters that you get a viewpoint of. The first one, obviously, is Cassie Sullivan. The amount of hardship, loss, strife, every possible bad thing you could think happens to this young lady. And she shows such courage and drive to get to her goals that it is absolutely amazing. She can come off as really immature. I think that's why she really gets underestimated a lot of the times. So that was something I really enjoyed because her strengths played off of her weaknesses. So her character was very real in that aspect. The second one that I'm going to go over is Evan Walker. He's the all-around country boy badass with a thick, hard shell. And on the inside, he's just as confused and lost as any guy that's ever been newly in love with someone. The third one is Ben Parrish. He's the dream guy with the award-winning smile. Or so he thinks. He was the very charming guy, so some things came easy to him. That's all I'm going to say for him. Then you have Zombie, the boy they destroyed, brought back, filled with utter hatred of the enemy and complete desire to kill them, no matter what happens or the cost. He always has something to prove because what he has to prove to himself is damn near impossible for anyone to prove. And that has a lot to do with a lot of his character. The next character was probably one of my favorites, and that's Raynor. She is the cold ice queen. You know, when she's looking at you, she can see right through you. She's already judged you, condemned you, and knows you're not worthy of her presence. She's always mission first, and there is no second. All right, so the next character you have is Sam Sullivan, and you might recognize the last name. That is Cassie's sweet little brother. Now, he is like little. I don't remember what age he was, but he still had a teddy bear. So if that tells you anything, he is what drives Cassie through most of the series. And as anyone who has a younger sibling, or even a sibling in general, knows that that can be a huge draw or a huge strength gaining point in their life. Then you have Nugget, the little boy who forgot what it meant to be a kid, but learned what it meant to kill someone to save the people he loved. So those are the characters that had a pretty important role, and you get to see their viewpoints throughout the series. So for my final thoughts, from what I've learned throughout my life, and something that I saw through the series, was sometimes humanity has to get beaten down, broken up, completely destroyed in order to build itself up to something greater. Who knows? Maybe it'll take an alien to come and kill 7 billion people.
No.
All I'm saying is that when shit hits the fan, we come together and we kick some ass.
So, I mentioned in our wrap-up video that your opinions are definitely a little bit unpopular because a lot of people don't seem to enjoy the series as much as you do. What really made this entire series really stick out to you? Like, what was the one thing that just made it, wow, this is good?
For the fifth wave, it didn't focus enough on the survival aspect of what it is to be alone. The second and third book shows what it is to be alone, shows how that desolation, or even being in a group, you can still build up your own character and you can still grow into yourself while growing into the group that is going to be able to stand up to the challenges that the world may face. That, and the fact that the second and third book were more quick-paced and, like I said, less high school drama. For me, that just made it that much more enjoyable.
All right, well, I only had one question for this one. So.
Well, I really enjoyed this series. I hope you guys might pick it up, and I hope you enjoyed my review, and we will catch y'all next time.
Bye, guys.
Take it easy.
Hold
Finally
on.
ready.
There. Try and keep it like that. The glare. It's driving me nuts.
Especially, I wish I could tell you guys more, but I'm going to stop it there for anyone to